to Strategy Session. I'm Antonio Gonzalez, your host, and we're here today with Yolie Aguilar Flores at the first edition of the new Strategy Session. You may have known my work at KPFK, but Strategy Session is now independent. We'll be sending regular podcasts and videocasts to our listeners and our followers throughout the country. Over the next 2 months, Strategy Session will be interviewing candidates for the very hot, very high profile congressional race to replace now Attorney General Javier Becerra, former congressman from Congressional District 34 for 20 years. That district in Northeast LA is the subject of our conversations over the next 8 weeks. Yolie Flores is our first interview today. She's a former LAUSD school board member. She's been an avid advocate for families and children for, 20 years, 30 years. And now she's thrown her name into the hat. She's high in the polls. She's raising funds. She's talking to voters. This race will culminate with a primary on April the 4th. So welcome to Yolie Flores.
Thank you for having me with you.
Thanks for being here today. We're here at an amazing restaurant called Cacao Mexicatessen, an award-winning restaurant that specializes in Mexico City traditional, even pre-Columbian cuisine with a Baja California twist, in case you all are interested. Right across the street from your headquarters. So you're in the, and it's only 5 weeks out for the election.
Yes, 5 weeks to go.
Tell us, I'll give you the easy question first. Why are you running for Congress? You were in public office. You decided not to continue at LAUSD. You've been doing your work, of course, as an advocate for children and families in many different ways. Why are you getting back into it?
Because I saw the opportunity to serve again, and this time at a national level, and continue the work that I'm just so passionate about, but also so concerned about given the times. So the opportunity arose when Congressman Becerra stepped down, now Attorney General, and it was just a very strong pull. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a fighter for working families, I'm an advocate, and what this community needs right now, people in the 34th District, somebody who's going to fight really, really hard to protect and defend their rights, their dignity, and to continue to open access to opportunity. This is a community that's very diverse, mostly Latino, but growing Asian. Many immigrants living here. Large numbers of people in poverty, over 25% people living in poverty, but 40% of children in this district live in poverty. And that closes up opportunity. So my job as the next Congresswoman is to defend, protect, and open opportunity. And that's just what drives me. It's what I've done all my life. It's my 30-year commitment, or 30 years of doing that, and it's a lifelong commitment. And I'm excited at the opportunity to serve the people.
Yolie Flores, this district is in many ways considered perhaps the most Chicano of all districts. It is where the historic, sort of greater Northeast LA, you've got Boyle Heights, you've got Lincoln Heights, you've got Highland Park, you've got Cypress Park, you've got El Sedin, you've got East LA, right? No, you go. It stops at East LA, but you got downtown.
And I got Pico Union.
You've got Pico Union, the Central American community.
Yes.
What are the issues that really resonate here? What are people telling you on the campaign trail, and what's your agenda for them?
Well, let me just say one other thing about this being sort of the mecca in terms of Chicano movement and who we are, the people in this district. Remember that before Congressman Becerra was Ed Roy,
right,
who is a legend for any of us, the first Latino in modern times to go to Congress. And so to be able to follow in the footsteps of this amazing leader Congressman Roybal, and then Javier Becerra is just an honor, something that I aspire to do. But what am I hearing from the people? You know, it's both what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. And obviously what we see today that is moving so many of us is the increase in homelessness. We see it everywhere across the community, more tents, more people living in the streets. And we know that a big part of that increase has been children and families. So I see that. But we also know that public education continues to be foremost a concern and an aspiration. This is why immigrant families come here, to give their children a better education, a better life. And we have a long way to go in improving our education system. I think right now people are very worried about the deportations. President Trump has done the unthinkable of essentially categorizing every undocumented immigrant as a criminal alien. And so there is a lot of fear, and my constituents are going to want me to do something about it. So I'm prepared to be their strong advocate, push back, and resist. That's what I want to build a movement as a congresswoman for our people here to be part of the resistance, to be part of the pushback, because this is so un-American. It is so unacceptable to be treated in that way.
That was a perfect segue into what was going to be my next and final question, Yolie Flores. President Trump appears to have declared what is in essence a Cold War against Mexico and immigrants. He wants to build a wall, a militarized wall on the U.S.-Mexico border. He wants to start taxing trade with Mexico. He wants to expel immigrants. Like 60, 70, 80% that we have documented are Mexicans. So it seems to be this obsession he has with Mexico. Is that resonating in the district? Are you taking a position on his deportation plan, on the wall, on his plan to basically stop or disrupt trade, remittances? He wants to tax remittances.
I've already denounced almost everything that this man has done, because everything so far is so divisive and so racist, is so un-American. So absolutely, and I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican American. It's personal, like to me and to you. This is it's unfortunate that we have come so far in our nation to have now this very dark chapter that we're going to have to live through, but we will get through it.
We're going to get through it.
We're going to get through it, and it will be short-lived.
We beat Pete Wilson, we can beat Donald Trump.
We can do that.
How can our listeners and our viewers get involved with your campaign?
Well, I'd love for them to come and hang out with us at the campaign office. We have volunteering for walkers, for callers, all kinds of opportunities to really get involved. We've got to motivate people to go and vote, and I need help to do that. This is a special election. It will have just followed another election on March 7th. So the turnout is expected to be very low. I would love help to make sure that that's not the case, that we actually have a great turnout. And obviously I would love the turnout to be in my favor. And I would love the public to know, and this is why we need to get out into the community. I want them to know who I am, who I've been all my life. This is not a transaction for me.
Right.
There are people in politics that go from one seat to another another. I don't do that. I'm here, I'm running because I care so deeply about children and families, and I want to be that voice. And obviously I want to lead on a number of other issues, whether it's the environment, immigration, trade, jobs. All of those things will affect the 34th district. But I will come at this with what I think is the most precious of our values in America, and that's children and families. So I hope they have the opportunity to serve this district and to be the next congresswoman for the 34th congressional district.
On that note, I want to thank you on behalf of Strategy Session and our producers, the Southwest Voter Registration Project and the William C. Velasquez Institute. And viewers and listeners, I also want to invite you to our Sabor de las Americas annual benefit. That's why we're here at Cacao Mexicatessen, combining good politics with good food and good company. That's our slogan. And hopefully we can break bread together and do some good work going forward, fighting Trump. Thanks, everybody.